one more branch, where would you love this branch to be?
I can't tell you. It's a surprise.
It's Every
branch is a surprise.
Okay.
It's underway right now.
Yeah. Okay.
But
love it.
Yeah.
I have a clue. But I'm not gonna. I'm saying.
What do you think? What do you think?
Hey, no, maybe I'm privy to insider information, so I can't spill it because I've been trying to track you down for this interview, and you've told me all the places that you've been and you were not available, and from that I can just tell. But anyway, no, let's surprise the people. Right? Yeah, we don't spill the beans here. What's up, grinders? Welcome back to the Nhlivo Actually Podcast. Today, I'm joined by a special guest. She goes by the name Mbali Nketsi. Mbali Nketsi is the owner of Kiddies Korner. Kiddies Korner is a salon for kids that's tailored towards taking care of your little ones. And she has branches in multiple places, Soweto, Pretoria, Durban. And today we're just going to reflect on her journey and how far she's come. I met Mbali back in 2014 at our two projects where I was an analyst in an incubation house, and she came in as one of the incumbents, and I really was intrigued by her whole business concept, and I've been happy to watch it grow over the years. And today we get to sit down with her just to learn more about it and how everything came about. Mbali, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me, Nhlivo.
Yes. So Mbali, where I'd like to start with you is I want to know, how did you come up with that concept for Kiddies Korner?
Okay. So it goes back to my experiences growing up as a little girl. I remember hating doing my hair. I remember experience of doing your hair is ekasi because that's where we grew up. Mm-hmm. I'm not a Tsongahan, but I still know the word musisi yanga no ona when the Tsonga people would do your hair and they'd gossip about your hair, right? And that experience, growing up, you don't forget it. And then I remember walking into a salon as an adult, right? Mm-hmm. And I see a little girl crying, and I'm thinking, that was me. That really was me. So fast forward, I'm in corporate. I don't like my job at all. I'm miserable. I get fired. And I think, okay, this is the perfect chance. I've always wanted to have a salon, but I wanted something different because I'm a saloon just everywhere, right? So I was tapping into a niche market. And then I did my research on kiddies hair salons in South Africa, yabo. And when I first saw the concept, it was predominantly for the white kid. And I thought to myself, who's doing this for the black little girl? The Mbali that was crying years ago, yabo. And fast forward, after losing the job, I took a leap of faith because I felt like I had nothing else to lose. And Kiddies Korner opened its doors in 2016. It was in February.
Wow. 2016 all the way to now. And how has the experience been in terms of, take us through how you fell upon incubation, how you also, because it's not a lot of people that have the confidence to join those types of programs. And also I want to know how you went about starting your business. What have been the challenges so far while you've been building this kiddies empire? Okay.
So we come from a background where, as Black people, you are told to go to school, of which I did. I did my BCom in economics and econometrics, and you go into corporate, right? Yeah. And the spirit of entrepreneurship is not cultivated. Well, for me, so I always say, I wasn't the little girl that used to sell amaswiti eskolweni. That's not me. Sales, I used to feel like I suck at it, you know. Yeah. So that's why I signed up for an incubation program, because I had an idea. And I wanted to execute this idea. And like you said, I lacked confidence, right? So when I went into the incubation program, I wanted people to guide me on this entrepreneurship journey, because it's not something that I'm not familiar with. Ekaya, there's no one that's ever been an entrepreneur. My mom's never said Yenzani business. It's something that was just new to me, right? And I go into the incubation program, and I meet Upra Eddie, who was my coach, who was my mentor. I still speak to him till this day.
Wow.
So Upra Eddie, just, you know, when someone just coaches you throughout the process, and Mbali, did you secure Ilisi yako? You know, when someone is just guiding you, mentor, yeah.
Step.
And I feel like that's like indlela ibuzwa kwabantu abaphambili, and for me that was that. People have walked this journey of entrepreneurship, and that's basically how it started for me. Until we launched the salon, I had somebody backing me up with the confidence to start.
That's great. That's great. And a lot of people are not keen, especially in the African space, in terms of mentorship, you know, let alone being part of the incubation program. But I'm glad that today we have you here as someone who's walked through that journey and actually has something to show for it, you know. But I also want to touch on what have been the challenges as well in building this whole empire, Kiddies Korner.
Your challenges, entrepreneurship is hard. So first things first, it's the access to e-capital, right? So when I started my business, I remember, like I said, I had lost my job. So I just had my savings, Wami. I had a provident fund, right? From losing the job. But that was not enough capital, if you look now in retrospect, because later on the journey, I go deep into debt. Kolota, renti, it's that you have to pay staff. So with that, it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. Managing people. For me, as in, I'm not a micromanager, and I just believe people should just show up at work and do your job.
Do what you have to.
Do what you have to do. So those for me were some of the challenges, but it was just the access to capital. You're starting this new brand from scratch and nobody knows about you. Getting customers to walk in. I remember when we opened, on the first day, I think we had 20 clients.
Well, which branch was this?
We opened in North Riding. I remember it was the 20th of February. And on the first day, you had 20 clients and you're thinking, okay.
This is it.
But those are your friends. That's family. Friends, family. And then after that, it's chai, like they're gone.
Yeah, they're gone. Now who's here for you?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I remember that month I made a lousy 3,000 rand. That time your overheads you have to pay rent. I think at the time it was 10,000 rand.
Wow.
I had to commit to paying staff. So already you're starting on a negative, and getting people to be confident in you to do their kids' hair, because the kids market is very sensitive. Parents do things for their kiddies, like they love their kids, right? But it's a space on which when you play around that space, you need to make sure that you've got the right people, you know. It's a very sensitive space. So you need to do things right, get the right team.
Efficiently, effectively.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for.
Love it. Yeah, you're right. Imagine first month in 3,000, rent is already on a minus, stuff you can't play with, thank you. And no one's understanding at this point, you know. And I think it's sticking it through is the test. That's where most people fall when it comes to navigating that pressure of owing people, of being in debt, of of no one coming to support you beyond. So this, before I touch on, you just opened up something else. I want to touch on the importance of marketing, because now attracting people around you that know you is easy, right? When you're getting started, but appealing to the masses and now wanting to appeal to the larger market is a whole different ballgame on its own. So I just want to also, before we touch on the marketing, go through the other branches that you opened and what kind of challenges you experienced in expansion now that you were now established as, Kiddies Korner, we know, we're familiar with the brand, but can't we find it somewhere else?
Okay. So to touch on the marketing aspect, I mean, when you're starting, you're going to test and trial. For me, there was a lot of test and trial. So you start with the flyers, you start with the I remember we'd go endlini zabantu and have little flyers as well. Social media, for me, social media is so powerful. I think the bulk of my clients found me on social media and referrals. Yes. So, but I mean, that takes time. Growing a social media page just doesn't happen overnight.
True.
You need consistency. You need to be consistent. You need discipline, because editing content, but at the time I didn't even know those things. Content post you and I think that's the thing about entrepreneurship. You just learn as you grow, because you wear so many hats, right?
That's true.
You are an HR manager, you are a
social media person.
Listen, so it's really testing and trialing and seeing what works for your business. There are people that will feel like social media won't work for them at all. And where for me is really where I get the bulk of my business, right? And how I do my social media. So I'm very pedantic about that as well. But growing the brand, as the brand grew, I'll make an example how we opened Soweto, right? So I was invited to some TV show, and I met another entrepreneur there, and we became friends, right? And she was also in the same space, in the same industry, and she had a salon in Soweto, a Protea Glen. And she says to me, Yo Mbali, my hairdressers don't like doing kids. So when it's time to do kiddies, they shy away. There's this story, you know what I mean? So why don't you come in and bring a Kiddies Korner Soweto? Ati, come to Protea Glen. And you're still hesitant at the time. Ati, listen, your market is sitting there. And we tested out, right? So we got a lot of qualms and is just negative feedback. So as an entrepreneur, we are begezela, so, and the huge comms was, it's a salon inside of a salon. So we are in a little corner, in a little hookie there.
Kiddies Korner.
Literally. So clients would walk in and expect what they see in North Riding, the standalone store. And then you walk in here, I remember some lady, I still remember this lady's comment, Ati, how do you even call that a salon? Like, that I wanna that hit, like Nyazama here. You see, I'm just I'm testing the market, Jabona. And the Soweto clients showed up, Yazi. It was gaining traction, and people were walking in to a point where the friend gave me bigger space in the salon, right? Life happened, and then her salon had to close down. And I remember one of the hairdressers saying, what are we going to do with all these clients if siyabala nje eSoweto? And that's when you have to think on your feet, man. Looked for a place in Soweto and had our own branch now, our own standalone Konalapaya. And that, once that took off, it did so beautifully. It did so well. And you know what, Mina, I'm a firm believer of listening to my client. So your client will tell you what she wants, So when I was still working, because I worked in the salon for the longest time, so I know how it's like to be the receptionist, the cleaner, and you get to talk to your clients and interact with them, and they'll say to you, why am I so? That suggestion is just trying to better their experience at the salon, and that's how you fine tune izinto. And kancane every time when we go North riding, why is there not a branch in Pretoria? I come from Pretoria. I
drove all the way
to going to Pretoria, and yazini, the opportunity came. We took it to Pretoria.
Yeah.
And then with the Durban branch as well, every time, there's nothing like this in Durban. There's nothing.
And that's the power of social media.
Thank you.
Because now someone is sitting so many kilometers away, and this comes up on their feed, and they're like, this is a perfect place. And lo and behold, they go to your profile. They're thinking, let me get the address. They're like, why did this show up even on my radar if I can't have it? You know?
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, that definitely is the power of social media. Because daily, man, you'll get people inboxing you. Why is this not here? Do you have a branch here? Send me your address, yabona. And I mean, social media is so powerful where it gives you insights to say, Uguti, these are the amount of people looking at your page and engaging. 20% is Joburg. You know, those insights.
Now you can segment and sort of see the age of the moms that are looking, the location, to the finer details, what they're interested in specifically.
Yes,
wow.
Yes.
That's social media marketing at its best. So now you have North Riding, which is your first branch, Soweto, right? Pretoria, and Durban.
Yes, Durban.
Okay, 500 kilometers away. How do you even?
I believe you need a strong team. I know men is a silo, guys. Like I literally built a strong team of women that help me out. I cannot do this alone. Outside of this, I am a mom. I am, you know what I mean? So it's literally asking for help. It's literally delegating. So I've got my ops manager. I've got my receptionist. I've got people that help me run this, because alone
you can't be everywhere at once.
Thank you.
Right?
Yes.
I feel that. So what's next for Kiddies Korner? That's what I'm sure a lot of people that have now caught up on the story and they know where it's sitting. They're curious on where's it going now.
Okay. So the plan was for me, I just want 5 branches of my own.
Okay.
If 5, it's mine. And then the rest are franchise. So I opened like the franchising model, just like Legends Barbershop, or we'll have a franchise work. You come to me, let's talk business. I sell you a franchise. And because like literally, like we've spoken, I can't do this I can't do it by myself. There is always, there are moms that will send DMs and saying that they're in Cape Town, they are in Gupi. They'd be interested to buy a franchise. So, and I mean, I've been running this for 9 years straight up. On the 20th of February was 9 years doing this.
That's big.
And we've really grown our brand. So, I think, we're out there. We're known. And I've shown with 4 branches, Guti, this model actually does work.
Okay. One more branch. Where would you love this branch to be?
I can't tell you. It's a surprise.
Every
branch is a surprise.
Okay.
It's underway right now.
Yeah. Okay.
But
love it.
Yeah.
I have a clue. But I'm not gonna. I'm saying.
What do you think?
Wait.
What do you think?
Hey, no, maybe I'm privy to insider information, so I can't spill it because I've been trying to track you down for this interview, and you've told me all the places that you've been and you were not available, and from that I can just tell. But anyway, no, let's surprise the people.
Let's surprise the people.
Yeah, we don't spill the beans here. You touched on being a mom, right? Before we get into like the nitty-gritties of how you juggle that amongst all the other demanding things that come with running this kiddies empire, I want to touch on something I know is very personal to you, and maybe you can share and relate with some of our audience that are probably also experiencing that or adjacent to it, you are an advocate and activist for like autism.
Yes. So I'm not just any mom. I'm a special needs mom. My son was diagnosed with autism at the age of 3. So I'm with autism, right? I'm a first-time mom. I know this autism word. And I think early signs of autism, you don't pick it up. But at 1 year, 8 months, my boy lost all his words. Imagine umntwana kubeka khuluma and his words just all disappear. So at the time, my husband and I at the time were thinking, okay, because umami, umzulu, daddy is Sotho, it's maybe the language
some barriers.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm a pediatrician. You take them to the doctor, and we're like, no, stick to one language. But there were some weird behaviors of which we didn't understand at the time, and then it's a long way to getting diagnosis, and finally I did find out it was okay, I'm done with autism, and boy oh boy, that's another journey of its own, because there's still so much education that needs to be done about this, because like people are still not aware. Where my son is 8 now, and he's not speaking, he doesn't talk. And then you'll still hear abantu kibadimu, uloyiwe. There's always,
as Africans,
myths.
there tends to be a lot of superstitions surrounding things we don't understand.
Yeah. I mean, I think the most painful for me, there was a time someone actually said my business is successful because ngithwele ngaye. And
sure,
my first child, you know that, like,
people can be so insensitive, you know.
Very, very, very Nhlivo. So that's why I decided to open up and talk about it, Duguti.
Yeah.
And in a world that doesn't advocate for them, in a world where they're called weird or different, I speak about it. I talk about it. I'm proud of the child that I have. You know, this is the child God blessed me with. And I'm gonna enjoy this journey, this life journey with him. Yeah,
because I feel like there's a low tolerance, you know, for people with special needs.
True.
And also, there's not a lot of information readily available for people to engage with that. I feel like people only engage with certain subject matter when it affects them directly, but lack the empathy or the sympathy rather to look into something as they see it and it comes up, you know. Especially now on social media, the world has become open. We're seeing a lot of differently abled people on social media, you know, and it doesn't take a lot for you to actually just research. Do a little bit of research and say, okay, I saw someone different in this way. What is happening with that? Once you know what is happening with that, ask yourself the follow-up question of how can I accommodate someone like this if I ever cross paths with them? Because there is a likelihood that you will. And then if you're equipped with knowledge, you can handle that situation in a better way.
True. Because all we're asking for is inclusivity. Like, I'm not saying when I walk into a restaurant and you see my child having a meltdown, when you'll say is spoiled bread. But because he's autistic, everything around him is overwhelming. He like the sound, the smell, everything. It's too much for him, you know. Instead of being judged by another mom, you know, having that place with okay, it's a sit shift just to try and regulate him. You know what I mean? So all the little things just to make us feel included. We want you to break your back, do different things. Yeah, so that's all it is.
We're not saying stop your life. We're just saying for this moment, let's acknowledge and let's be accommodating and let's do our best to make sure everyone has a great day and a great experience.
You've summed it up for me.
All right. No, and you're not just a mom to a special needs child. You're also a fair mom, A furry mom.
Yes, I'm a
Paco.
Yes, Paco.
People are probably wondering how I know all this stuff, but no, I've had Mbali on social media for years. So I've seen, even when you broke the news about your child, I saw the post. Even when you got the pup, Paco, I saw the post. So that's why I'm asking all this.
So Paco joined the family because my son, we decided to take my boy to boarding school, right?
Okay.
Because I wanted to foster independence. Because sometimes I find that I am mothering the autism, not the child. You know what I mean? So you overcompensate sometimes, and I was just trying to avoid that, right? And it became lonely. You know, you love, like, I mean, little boys will be little boys running around the house. You miss all of that. And I was feeling lonely. And I was like, okay. And that's when Paco joined our family. And he was a beautiful addition to the family because my son, they get along very, very well.
Yeah, I saw a video of them together. Yeah.
Yes.
Nice.
So it's just an addition to the family in Jekpela.
Yeah.
Which we both enjoy. We do.
Oh, that's so sweet. I love animals as well. I saw it's a very cute pup. It's the ones that don't grow very much. Right?
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm a Pomeranian.
it's very cute. All white dog. Fluffy thing.
Yep.
Yeah. So Mbali, what passions do you have outside of like being a mom and your business?
So I love going to the gym. I enjoy Ubu Fitness Baniana.
Yeah.
I was also a runner, but I'm not those strong runners.
Yeah.
5,
Comrade
10,
marathons.
So yeah.
Keep it light.
Yes. 5-10 Ks.
Yeah.
And then I recently started cycling, and oh my word, am I enjoying it. Yo.
Actually, you did have a race today. It was a 30-kilometer race. Your first one, how did that go?
No, it was meant, we were meant to do 30. However, we ended up with 40 Ks. It's so beautiful on the road. Guys, go buy a bicycle in Nhlivo. Like, and just
I've done the city cycling.
Okay.
There's like cycling clubs in Joburg CBD, Braamfontein specifically, where there's events. I go to those where we cycle in Jozi, right? And we go to art galleries in between the cycling. And we view art, we speak to the artists, then we cycle back. Then after we have some lunch, I'll introduce you to those. That's more of a social cycling versus what you were doing, which is like a race type of thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's just so much fun on the road. It's just me time. Like, just to distress from everything, you know. It's just you and your bike, and you're one with nature. Kumnandi. Oh, I enjoy it so much.
Okay. No, I saw you take it up. I saw you working out in the gym, preparing for the race. I'm like, okay, you're actually taking this seriously, you know.
I am. So I was going through a rough patch. So I was going through a divorce, and I needed to focus my energy on something new, something fresh, like a new hobby. And I think that's why I'm taking it so seriously because, and I did it with a cycling club, and it's an all black female cycling club. Shout out to Matsumela Ladies Clinic.
Out.
Yeah. So, and they teach you, so they, even if you are a novice, if you know nothing. So I was that person, just not going to kibeli bicycle as a little girl, right?
Wow.
And the people that can't even ride bikes. So literally they start you from the ground and they teach you everything to do with cycling, right?
Wow,
because most of the time you think it's sports sabelungu, because that's what we see most of the time. So I mean they take you through the process, the gear, whatnot, changing my gears. I don't even know if I skill change my gears, but
it sounds like a car now. Yeah. What's going on?
Here I am now. I started off doing 10Ks. Today I was doing 42. Yeah, 42.
Wow, that's big.
I think we're working towards doing 100 because I found it so fascinating when they like, okay, we cycle from a Pretoria to Sun City. I was like, what? Let me do it.
I want to be part of that.
Sign me up. So
that's beautiful.
It's been very exciting for me. I'm really enjoying it, focusing my energy all on that.
It's good to see you embrace so many of the things to do with like female empowerment and like engaging in those circles. So I just want to touch on like, what would you say to either a younger version of yourself first, and secondly, what would you say to a young girl out there sitting and dreaming of going into business, dreaming of like leaving their mark in the world?
Young girl, and your dreams are valid. It's not impossible. If you believe it, see the vision, and when I execute, like just execute. And Rome was not built in a day.
True.
I remember when I started my salon, I always say it was the ugliest hair salon, but I started. Yeah, but, when I looked at my competitors at the time, I remember seeing them, and I'm screens on the roof, on the ceiling, and I was like, I didn't have a TV for my hair salon when I opened, right? But I kept on reinvesting in the salon. So, I believe in simplicity. So I don't drive the fanciest car. I don't because I'm still building. While I used to feel like I'm at my building phase, is cuts are the fancy thing will come. So if you believe it, it will happen. And you need to believe in yourself. There will be self-doubt sometimes, but also the circles that you keep. Yeah, hang around like-minded people, people that do way better than you as well. I mean, those people inspire you and push you. Push your limits.
So that's the importance of mentorship.
Yes, mentorship once again.
Getting into programs that are set up to help you.
Yes.
You know, we said this last week on the last podcast, actually, with my previous guest. There's nothing as Oglandindlin. You just need to position yourself and seek things that are out there for your betterment. Things do exist, but there's no away to projects or incubation hub or river sands that will come knocking.
True.
But you know, Sizolandumba.
So true.
Out of so many people in the world. And I've seen people taking taxis 4 a.m. just to get to a place where they're going to just soak up some knowledge and turn themselves into something. That's why I'm always reaching out to the people that I met through this journey, just like I did with you, that I'm trying to shine a light on, so that those stories that haven't been told as much, the ones that have been told too much are the ones where mega success. He used to take a taxi now. No, I want the stories in the middle.
Yeah.
Like while you're becoming, because those are more relatable and feel more attainable than the ones where I'm calling you here, you in a Lamborghini. How can they relate? You're too far gone. Even your language at that point. No, just wake up, run. How am I running at 4 a.m. in the kasi when people are robbing people?
Right?
You know what I'm saying? So you're so detached to everything. So that's why I like catching people in the middle point where they still have the language to reach the person who's sitting there at home and having all these dreams and all these visions, you know. Because I watch other podcasts as well. And then, hey, Nyamuzu Jeff Bezos, yakhuluma about the disconnect is too much between me and him. There's such a disparity. Yeah, which is why I felt the need to have something like this to bridge that gap, you know. But I'm very excited to hear about your journey in a proper setting as well, because obviously when you see things in passing and whatnot, you don't get to ask some of the fundamental questions.
True.
You know, but yeah, no, you didn't send a message to your younger self as yet. We did the young girl, the young Mbali, because you understand her more intimately and you walked in those shoes. And you know what you're impatient about, what your thoughts were in those stages of becoming. What would be the message to her?
I'm proud of you, sis. You've come a long way.
Wow. Well said. I thought you'd take the scenic route on some okay, no, good. That's so good.
I'm proud of her.
Yeah,
I am proud of her.
Did the best with what came towards us.
Yes,
you know?
yes.
And that's all we can ask for. People that keep showing up for themselves. You know, even when faced with challenges, like being fired to someone feels like the end of the world.
It does.
But to someone else, it feels like an opportunity. Now I've gained my independence. I've gained all my time back, and I'm going to bootstrap with the little I have and produce something.
True.
You know, and look, you went in, you risked it all. You put yourself in front of the right people. You weren't scared to put your hand up and say, no, I don't know.
Nah.
I don't understand. I need help with this, you know. And that's why we have someone like you here today, you know, and it's exciting. So moving on from your younger self, now we want to hear the voice of Mbali manje, where you are now. What words of wisdom would you share with just someone right now that's feeling it and like doesn't see a way out?
I know that feeling. Begezela sis.
Yeah.
But there's also that saying, I think it's a prayer.
Okay.
Lord, help me to know when to hold on, or I don't know, I paraphrase Alana. Or let go, or you know what I mean?
Okay. I think we're looking for the Lord, help me to have the strength to change the things that I can, and to let go of the things that I can't.
Yeah.
And I feel like in that statement, I would add having the discernment.
Yes, the
To
discernment.
know which is which. Because sometimes you may let go. I should have let go of this podcast a while ago. When things were black and white. I should have said, no, you know what? you know, but when you pray for the for a spirit, a discerning spirit, that's when then you gain clarity. True. As to, okay,
it's time.
This one must stay.
Yeah.
This one must move on.
Try.
Yeah. Okay, no, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. So what else would you like to share with our guests that maybe they don't know about you, that they maybe you would want them to know about you and your business, and also like what does the future hold for you besides the next branch and the franchising? That was more business driven, but manje Mbali the person who's ufunani, like what's the perspective? Is it travel? Is it what is it?
You know how they always say don't put all your eggs in one basket, right? So for me, in business-wise, I'd want to tap into other industries and see what I can do within the kiddies space. There is a project that I did start. but it's towards training. Yeah. But
Okay.
we'll give.
It's interesting.
Yeah. So training in the hair space, and for me, I think that's also uplifting to put abanye abantwana. I mean, not all of us are going to be graduates and go to school, and
That's true.
and some of us are really talented, ngezandla zethu, right?
Yeah.
And so fine tuning that, yeah, and eventually creating an entire school for people to fine tune their skills, but yeah, it's something that's that's in the pipeline. So it's not just focusing on Kiddies Korner and Kiddies Hey, you know what I mean? We're also empowering once again through that. Maybe even do property at some point. I don't know. Every business person is always saying, "I've got property."
I feel like you're already on the way with that, because a lot of franchises end up in that property game.
Wow.
Like McDonald's is in the property. They like, you have franchises now. Imagine now owning the property where the franchise is going to sit. That's money coming back into you. Even there's lateral moves. There's you moving deeper or backwards into what you do. You could have your own hair care brand for kids. Like there's so many avenues in what you do, and I like that your first thought went towards giving back even more through teaching people. You know, and also the fact that you understand that we're not all the same. We're not gonna all be cum laude graduates going to these. Yes, we all aspire to that, but sometimes the means are not there, and you can't wait for the country to change for you to become.
Thank you.
Sometimes you have to look at what avenues are available for you to express yourself, because if you can't express yourself, you're going to implode.
True.
And that's where all the destructive behaviors that we keep seeing happening, keep happening, you know. But yeah, okay, that's very interesting.
Okay.
In terms of how you're going to structure yourself as a business person and find new like avenues to
revenue now.
Yeah. That's brilliant. Okay. What else on a personal note would you like to grow into? Because I see there's the fitness bunny, there's the cycling bunny, there's those types of things. What else would you be open to?
I'd be open to marriage again.
Wow. You heard it here first, folks. We're turning into a matchmaking podcast.
Being a mom, because I really love I wouldn't want to have one child. I've got siblings, and my siblings and I is Yazwana, so
you come from a home, a full home.
True.
So you would like to replicate that in your own life.
So I wouldn't want my kid to be an only kid, you know what I mean? So building a family again, because I do believe in family. I love family. I love being, whether it's distance, whether it's
those family values.
For me, they matter. Yeah.
Okay, no, that's
so that's a more personal.
Yeah, I didn't see that one. Yeah. I thought maybe you'd say, I want to fly to Dubai.
Don't come, man.
Okay, yes. Cool. And it's sweeter if you're flying out there with family, right?
Yes, more precious, more memories.
Right? Yeah. Instead of it's just you there in those big towers. No, I love it. I love it. So, okay, it's been a great chat, and I really loved having you on the show, but I just want people to continue the conversation with you, right? I know right now you and your marketing team are hard at work. They're trying to get you out of your shell.
Yay.
Yeah? Shout out to them. We wouldn't have you here if they were not saying, hey,
let's do this.
Let's get you out there more, because I feel like people need to hear the story. People need to know the face behind this brand in particular. True. If it was any other brand, like I would be like, it's fine. I don't need to know who makes this cheese. I'll eat it anyway. Yeah. But now, when other mothers can see you and relate to your story and hear all these things, I think it sweetens it up even more for them when they bring their child there. They know who they're supporting. They know what you stand for and your values and your cause, you know. So I want the conversation to continue. So I want you to share your socials with everyone where they can find you and find your brand. Depends. Ufuna follow Kiddies or ufuna follow Mbali. So you'll decide how you share the details.
I am a businesswoman after all, so
yes.
Kiddies Korner page. Korner with the K.
Kiddies Korner with the K. Let's go.
So on Instagram, we're Kiddies Korner Hair Salon.
Yes.
On TikTok, Kiddies Korner Hair Salon. Facebook, Kiddies Korner Hair Salon. That's where you'll find us.
Fantastic. So everyone out there watching with the kiddies, I want you to spam Mbali's inbox, tell her with Salon go P. You know, because right now she's on her way creating the next branch and thinking franchising. So the more you send that location and it keeps appearing, best believe you're gonna have yourself a Kiddies Korner soon enough, you know, right? Yeah. Do you have any parting words for us?
It's gonna sound so corny, but often people will look at the salon, go busy, and think it's a quick buck or it's easy to do this. I think every time you look at someone's business from the outside, it looks very easy to do, but I still believe in if you're passionate about what you do, I believe God will sustain you. He'll give you all the ideas around or how to play around. He'll show you, give you a very clear picture. Yeah, but so love what you do, and then the money will come after. I know it sounds so corny, but the
corny stuff is often the true stuff.
Nah. I really love what I do.
They were not there for the flood. When Kiddies Korner flooded, they were not there.
When they were breaking into my shop, the whole year, 5 times breaking into the shop.
They were not there. So, umuntu fundi quick bag.
It's not.
Will not weather the storm.
True.
The table will be set amongst your enemies.
Hey.
It doesn't say the table will be set a Breinstein, a restaurant. No. Sometimes the table is really set in the middle of chaos. But what will sustain you is your faith. What will sustain you is your passion. And what you believe in, having the right people around you.
True.
Also. So everything that you've shared today has rung, like, I can resonate with, you know, because like it's coming from a genuine place. So I hope everyone at home also is going to take all this in and keep showing up for themselves.
Yay.
You know? Yeah. So Mbali, thank you for gracing us with your presence. You've been a lovely guest, and this has been the Nhlivo Actually Podcast. I hope you guys follow us on socials. It's Nhlivo on TikTok. It's Nhlivo Actually on Instagram and Facebook, and then that's where you can find us. Share your experiences of you being at Kiddies Korner. Share, spam, sendani. I wanna know all the dirt.
Hey, I'm cringing.
I wanna know it all. All right, thank you everyone. See you next time.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye. Ooh, that's it.